The whole point of the Hamptons is people that have a lot of money pretending to not care about all this shit. Perfect life on Instagram ends in tragedy in the Hamptons. Father took his own life in Southampton while family was on the Amalfi Coast. Family was very ostentatious on Instagram, and his death is starting conversation about stunting online and the Hamptons' pressure to show off. Candace and Brandon Miller showed the public a world of glittering parties and vacations. The money to sustain it did not exist. I'm going to say it again. This is a good way to live. Yeah. This is a great way to live. Of the ways you can spend your time on this earth, conning to get somewhere, enjoying the hell out of it, and then when it ends, killing yourself is not that bad. It's not that bad. I mean, there's a lot of kids in Ukraine being thrown into a meat grinder right now who would have loved just 1 week of this guy's life. And he did the right thing at the end. And the right thing, and I got to say on a live, because, you know, it's the kids. This is a show watched by children. And we know YouTube's protecting the children, right? You know? Every YouTuber, by the way, it's coming out that they're all messaging children inappropriately. However, me saying a word is the problem. Here's the point. This man who I mean, by the way, stunning. Look at that fucking event. Look at the colors. Beautiful. Yeah, when you live like this and you can't do it anymore, you unalive yourself. It is the normal course of events.
That's right.
Stop shaming people. Stop shaming people, fake rich people who then have to be regular people who choose to unalive themselves. Stop shaming them. Normalize it. Bed Bath & Beyond CEO jumps out of his building because he's under indictment. Normalize it.
We wish him well.
Normalize the rich checking out when it's time to not be rich. You have look at that event. You have no idea what it's like to go from that back to the Friendlies or something. Normalize people checking out. Oh, but he had a family. He doesn't care. Listen, you think he wants to be broke with them? He checked out at the right time. Now, this gentleman named Brandon Miller, and people in the Hamptons listen to this show. They're going to find this very callous, and I'm saying this. I don't care. I don't care that he's dead. The game is to keep the scam going. The Hamptons is about keeping the scam going. If you are unable to keep the scam going, then unalive yourself. There are people in the Hamptons who are in Epstein's black book who've been prosecuted multiple times for stock fraud. And you know where they are? They're on their porch because they don't give up. They don't give up. There are people at Kamala fundraisers right now talking about the importance of climate change who literally were throwing 14-year-old girls into a volcano with Jeffrey Epstein 8 years ago. And you know why they're still around? Because they don't give up. If you don't have it for the life, don't be in the life. What happened to this guy again, please?
He took himself off the board.
That Mr. Miller's death occurred in the Hamptons during the height of the social season was almost certainly has added to the intrigue, says Neil J. Young, a historian who is writing a book about the Hamptons. Here, the only thing as fascinating as opulent as wealth is its sudden disintegration. This place is predicated for a certain set on showing off. It's the homes one has, the things one does out here, from the restaurants to the workouts to the parties. It's a place where one can get overextended really quickly, where a house of cards can suddenly collapse. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The American economy is a house of cards. Most of our companies are house of cards. The stock market's a house of cards. The game is to keep the house of cards going. That's the whole game. What Mr. Miller is not some type of anomaly in the Hamptons, a guy who's overextended and he's not an anomaly. The vast majority of people there, are, living beyond their means. Not all of them, but many of them, their companies are not worth as much as they say. Their ideas are not as valuable as they say. Their value as people is not nearly as great as what they say. They are all replaceable. The game is to pretend like you're not. Brandon Miller developed the commercial and real estate projects in Tribeca, Harlem, in the meatpacking district. He appeared to be a successful businessman in a city filled with them. Yet by last fall, he was under so much pressure that when he attended a business meeting in a Midtown high-rise, according to 3 people familiar with what happened, Mr. Miller sat at a conference table and began to weep. Cock. He was in a financial freefall that confidants are now struggling to piece together. You have to keep the scam going, for Christ. You cannot give up. And if you are to give up, you just have to unalive yourself. No one wants to see any of these fucks weep. Weeping in the Hamptons? No, thank you. No, thank you. There is not to be any weeping in the Hamptons or Greenwich, Connecticut or Newport Beach. There's no weeping. Shut the fuck up. Keep the scam going, or do what the CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond did. I have a condo a few blocks away. One day he decided to chuck himself out of the window and end up on the street. And you know what everyone did? No one cared. They stepped over his body and they went to Bubby's for those shit pancakes. But the point is,
Brian Thompson.
Everyone's in a scam over there. Brandon Miller was unique in the Hamptons. He was in a scam. Can you believe it? Someone in the Hamptons was in a scam, and it went bust. He's weak. He was weak. He was weak. He didn't make the right alliances. He didn't make the right friends. He didn't blackmail the right people. He didn't get involved with the right intelligence agencies. He didn't shake the right hands. He didn't swing with the right couples. He didn't go and grovel. He didn't do the right things. He didn't fucking go and become an asset of China. Do something. You've got a family. Go and defect to China. But instead, he did what the only other option is, to take yourself out. It's fine. It's fine. Listen, he doesn't want to be broke, and he didn't have the wherewithal. He didn't have the tenacity. He didn't have the raw native intelligence to keep it going. Good book, by the way, called The Privileges by Jonathan D. He's probably one of these writers that, if he knew who I was, would hate me. I don't know. Who cares? But the point is, probably there's a lot of people I say this is a good thing. I go, who's saying that? But maybe not. I don't know what this person does, and I don't care. I just know that this is a good book called The Privileges about this young couple from outside of Philly that becomes New York City finance people. It's pretty accurate, too, and it's about a guy who's kind of running a scam, but just you got to keep doing it until it's real, and it's a really, really good book. Jonathan Franzen said it was a seductive novel. It's good. You should read it. But I get it. I mean, it's just funny the way that the press writes about all this stuff. Again, like all of the, you know what I mean? Can you believe there was a dishonest person in the Hamptons living beyond their means? He expressed his love for his wife and his children. Boring. He wrote that he believed he was doing what was best for them. The suicide note. The note mentioned 2 life insurance policies totaling about $15 million. Now, by the way, I don't know if they'll get that, all of that, because of suicide a lot of times, unaliving. Because of the unaliving, I don't know if they'll get it.
They'll probably get it.
In a graveside ceremony attended by family and a small circle of friends, he was laid to rest next to his father. It's a good life. It's a fine life. It's a fine life. It's a fine life. What's that song? It's a fine, fine life. Can we play that?
Small World? No.
No, It's a Fine Life. It's from Oliver Twist. Get it up, and we dedicate it to the Miller, who unalived himself in the Hamptons. Get up, It's a Fine Life. It's a great thing, and I hope we can play it. Maybe we can't. It's a fine life. Why can't we play anything?
They'll take the
Well, then I'll
monetization.
unalive myself. Can you get up the lyrics, and I'll sing it and dedicate it to this man who unalived himself in the Hamptons with his family? Fuck, I don't even know the thing. Small pleasures, who would deny us those? Gin toddies, large measures, no skimping if you please. I rough it, I love it. Life is a game of chance, I never tire of it, leading this merry dance. If you don't mind having to go without things, it's a fine life. Though ain't no jolly old pressure at it's a fine life. See, that's what they should have played at his funeral. Just celebrate the man. Celebrate the attempt. I'm sick of, trying to teach people lessons with this crap. Every time this happens, the press comes in to teach the wrong lesson. This man forgot what really mattered in life. Look at them. They don't want to be broke, these two.
They look cute.
They were halfway there. They just didn't figure it out. You know? It's the wrong, the press comes in and they're like, this guy, Mr. Miller, he was such an anomaly in New York. He was a guy whose business was built on bullshit. And he was living beyond his means. I am shocked. And this is supposed to teach people to what? Not care about money or something? Do you think the people in the Hamptons reading this go, you know what? Honey, this affects me. I'm reading this about this guy that we met at that party. How did he do it, by the way? How did he get out?
Garage
in the car. Oh, yeah, this guy who asphyxiated himself in his garage. Remember we met him at that art party? Well, anyway, I read his story. It's so tragic. I don't want this house anymore. I don't want this big house anymore because that guy we met 3 times killed himself. Who gives a fuck? No one cares. Play the game or don't, pussy. I'm sick of this shit. This is not the attitude that built America. Con artists giving up. Con artists giving up is not the attitude that built America. Liars who keep lying is. You keep lying. You don't get honest at the end. How weak is that? Go to South America, get in a drug get, call the ketamine queen and go, let's fucking... Perry's not the only one that needs some juice. He should be trying to hook Jennifer Aniston on ketamine. You don't want to go back to living in fucking Seaford or some hellhole? I don't like con artists giving up. That's why they tried to cancel David Dobrik. What'd he do? He goes, I'm going to sell shit pizza to fat middle Americans next to the Saddle Ranch because he didn't give up. They tried to cancel him because he, threw his friend off a crane or something. But he didn't die. He didn't die. He said, I'm going to sell shit pizza. Now he sells shit pizza. That's disgusting and it kills people. He's doing more damage with that pizza than he ever did with the crane. My point is this. You don't give up.
Never.
Look at this little guy. That's the spirit of America. You know what? I've gone the other way on this. Let all the Venezuelans in. Let them all in and steal the phones. If an 11-year-old steals your phone on the fucking subway, you deserve to have your phone taken. That little guy can be trained to be either an assassin for this country or some type of a corporate criminal. I'm sick of con artists giving up and trying to get weeping in a fucking boardroom. You fucking faggot weeping in a boardroom. And I don't mean that in a gay way. I mean it in a I have a wife and I'm crying in a boardroom way. My point is this. The country is built on the look at Kamala. It's why she's cruising kind of towards a victory.
That's right.
Because she understands that the lie must be verbose. The lie must be enduring. The lie must be forever. The lie you cannot dip your toe into the pool of dishonesty. You must commit. This woman's a prosecutor who's threw people in jail her entire life, and she's out there talking about how democratic she's going to make everything.
Never break character.
Because the lie cannot end. It does not end weeping in a boardroom. Mr. Miller, his wife's moving to Miami. That's what everybody does when their husband kills himself. She'll be on the beach. By the way, if she hears this, she'll agree with me. She'll go, yeah, I thought my husband was a man. I thought he'd figure it out. But instead, he starts crying in a fucking boardroom. She knew what was going on. She's a criminal, too. She's a criminal, too. They're all criminals. This guy's a criminal. He go, oh, I can't have any money anymore. Yeah, we know. It's all fake. It's all fake. The house in the Hamptons is fake. And my wife, oh, God, I don't have any money anymore. I don't have any money anymore. Call the ketamine queen and kill someone else. It didn't work. He's gone. He's gone. He's not even there. So I was at a barbecue. I was at a few barbecues out in the Hamptons talking to people. And I was basically, you know, the Hamptons is largely lots of Democrats. Yeah, Andrew Schultz, very nice having me there. And Little Mabu, who's a rapper, drill rapper, nice guy, doing very well. He said that it's less violent, the drill rap now. I asked him, I said, is it still a lot of the killing? He said it's less of that. And then he said, because life, he goes, because that life, he's like, yo, it's like it's either death or jail. That's how like it ends. And I'm like, good point. So, but there was a woman there, a white lady at the barbecue. She goes, I love drill rap. And I think it's, Eric Adams doesn't like drill rap. He blames the drill rap, but I love rap. Just a white lady, a liberal white woman with a glass of wine. I like drill rap. It's good. It gets people, these kids from the Bronx, it gets them exercising. And it's important. But drill rap, of course, is, you know, has its benefits, I'm sure. But also is quite violent.
That's
it
right.
is, and, you know, unfortunately. But I was there and I was talking to people. And these this couple had gone to the Biden fundraiser a few days after the State of the Union. He had a fundraiser in the Hamptons, and they went to it. There was like 150 people, big money, big Democratic donors out in East Hampton at a house. They all show up. They show up early. They're standing there in the humidity. Jill Biden goes up on stage and does a meandering speech about nothing, about how him and her used to date and how it couldn't be less relevant to what's going on. Jill Biden gets up in the backyard of a humid Hamptons estate and starts babbling about how you know, Joe, when he, you know, asked me out the first time, and all these sweaty billionaires are standing there. And, you know, the Hamptons is not, you know, Malibu. It's not like all these ripped retards. It's actually quite smart, somewhat chubby, sweaty billionaires, you know, guys in pink shirts sweating through them that are kind of angry, you know, and they're standing in the back with their wives, and their wives are, you know, it's, again, they're doing the best they can. Everyone's doing the best they can. Some of these people are attractive for sure, and a lot of them are, you know, rich. And they're standing there in this humid Hamptons backyard. Maybe they're eating a lobster roll, or maybe they're staring and they're sweating in the humidity. And then Jill Biden, can you imagine this? Because, by the way, none of the people in this backyard think the Bidens. Imagine, remember student council? No one respected the student council president and no one cared. That's the way they feel about the actual president. They don't really care. It doesn't mean anything to them. These people have billions of dollars. They travel privately. They have businesses. They're not in, it's not, oh my God, it's the president. They all want something from the president. They're concerned about the optics of the way the country looks because they're doing business as an American. So they don't want the president necessarily, you know, drooling or something like that. But they're not impressed by the sheer fact that the president, you know, maybe Obama, because he was cool, and they were like, whoa, he's cool, and he's young, and he's cool. No one respects these people, is what I'm saying. You know, they're from Delaware, they're from Pennsylvania, but they live in Delaware. Everybody's nervous and worried here, and all of these guys are, it's like student council. It's like, okay, we got to sit through this. We have to sit through this, and what the fuck's this going to be? Because they all just saw the debate. It's not the quarterback. The president's not really treated like the quarterback. You know, out there, it's like the student council president, where you go, this guy, we need it, kind of. We don't know why. They don't really know why. Those people that are so rich out there are kind of like, we need the appearance of a president, but they don't know why. It's like, if you're a really cool, popular, if you're anyone really in high school, you don't really know what the student council does. But you know that it goes on some kid's college letter that he was a student council president. So these people in the Hamptons they're kind of confused as to why we need a president in general, let alone one with dementia. They don't really get it. So they're standing in the backyard, but they understand what they all understand in that backyard, 150 of them in that sweaty, humid backyard in East Hampton. They all understand one thing, and that thing is lying. They understand the importance of lying. There's an art to it, how it needs to be done, what lies people can swallow, big lies and little lies. They're all well-versed in that. They do it to their wives. They do it to their shareholders. They do it to their children. They do it to their investors. They do it to other people. They do it to everyone they meet. And in large part, that's why they're successful. They're able to create a version of reality that works for them, and then they give it to other people. They go, this is the way it is. They give it to them. They go, here it is. Chew on it. And most people know it's kind of a lie, but they give up. You give up halfway through. You go, well, it doesn't really seem like it's true. And you're chewing and chewing. That's fine. He's got reasons for saying what he does.
I want to complain about this one other thing before I get out of here, because I'm like alarmed by this. And I went to this restaurant the other day called 75 Main in Southampton. It's like a well-known restaurant, and the food was really good. They had a lobster quesadilla that was sick, and the owner took a picture with me, or maybe not the owner, the manager. It was a great experience. All in all, I was very happy. And here's the thing, man. They're getting a reality show. And I'm like, first of all, guys, let me tell you right now. The era of reality TV is over. Like, done. You're not even going to get famous anymore. You're not going to make any money. You're barely going to launch a product. The era of reality TV is done now. You are truly scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're going to make more as a waiter there than you will being paid to be on reality TV. Now, the Hamptons are supposed to have a little class, a little dignity. It's not like California where people just speed around in Maseratis and drive them off canyons. You know what I mean? People in the Hamptons, New York, East Coast, old money, they're supposed to pull up in like beater cars, shittier cars. They're not supposed to be as flashy. And they live in these big estates behind hedges and gates, but they're supposed to, you know, relax a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Part of the ethos of the Hamptons is kind of what's a little cool about it. It's a little more relaxed. And this idea that they're having a reality show, it disturbed. Now, I know everybody wants to be famous and have opportunities, and I'm not trying to take that away from anyone, but I also am. Because enough. It's not going to happen. Just make the lobster quesadilla well.
You got it, Tim.
It was very good. Keep making it good. Probably had a runaway hit with the Vanderpump Rules about the Hollywood restaurant. Sir, all the restaurants from Vanderpump Rules are disgusting. The food's horrible, and they're fun because all the bartenders, I guess, use drugs and, I don't know, have sex with each other and then try to kill each other, whatever people like. But now Page 6 is told that Southampton hotspot 75 Main is going to be setting for a similar show. Owners, whoever, and his sexy staff will be starring on Serving the Hamptons, which will air on Discovery Plus. We're told Kendall Jenner, Ivana Trump, Paris Hilton, Brooke Shields, Patriots owner Robert Kraft, billionaire John Cassavetes, Anthony Scaramucci, and rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, who once left a 2,000 tip after ordering Thanksgiving takeout, all stopped by the restaurant while cameras were rolling. Everyone keeps calling me the male East Coast version of it. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade here, but what the fuck? The whole point of the Hamptons is people that have a lot of money pretending to not care about all this shit. The people that they're talking about, Kendall Jenner, Ivana Trump, Paris Hilton, Brooke Shields, Patriots owner Robert Kraft. These are simple people.
Simple people.
They don't want any publicity. They don't want it. When people like Kendall Jenner, Paris Hilton, when they leave their house, they're trying to stay low. It's not fair that they're now forced to participate in this. The cameras will go back to where now I'm going to have a problem in here when I go in here because I like the lobster quesadilla. They're going to get mad and they're going to, well, you said that we shouldn't have a reality show. Why can't we be famous? Can't you just do what you do well? How about that? You're more famous than people on TV.
75 Main is famous to rich fuck. Who gives a fuck what these animals think who watch this shit from their bathtub while they're making meth? You got a great, isn't it enough for anyone anymore to do the thing you do well? Everybody needs to be a star. Everyone needs to be a star. It's sad.